Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Board Game Captain,
I'm Lynn.
and today we are going to be reviewing and showing you how to play Greedy Kingdoms. Now, Greedy Kingdoms was published by AEG and is part of their Big in Japan line, and it was designed by Hayato Kisaragi and Bruno Feduti, which are listed up there. Now, this is a strictly two-player game that I'm having trouble finding. Oh, there we go. Two players, ages 14 and up, 20-minute playtime. So let's start there. Now, the 20 minutes, I think, is a pretty good estimate. This is a fairly fast game. I don't think... Have we even gone over, like, 20 minutes?
I don't think so.
Because we played it a few times, and it's been very lickety-split. So that's a good estimate. The two players, not much to talk about there. This is a strictly two-player game. Now, however, the ages 14 and up...
It's all right there. You don't need to move it.
I didn't see that. The ages 14 up feels like an overestimate to me. This game is not overly complex. In fact, it's quite simple to learn. I think that might be about a 4-year overestimate. I mean, a significant overestimate. What do you think? Are you agreeing with me or disagreeing with me on that one?
I think because there's the bluffing and trying to predict what your opponent is going to do. I think the age is correct.
So you agree with the 14?
Yeah, I don't think 10-year-olds are very good at trying to predict what...
Well, it depends on the 10-year-old, mind you. So, which is an issue with all of these sort of age guessing. But the rules seem very simple to me. So let's have a look at what comes in the box. So now the first thing you've got is the rule book. Now the rule book is clear and concise, and it had me up and running in about 10 minutes. I shot through it. It's very easy. It's a total of 13 pages, but that includes alternate modes of play and also many areas where you have like 2 pages that are almost completely just diagrams and showing you how the cards look. So, I mean, this 2 pages I read in like, 30 seconds. Or this here where, again, lots and lots of diagrams. So it is actually, even though it looks like it's a lot of pages, it's a bit deceptive. It's actually really quick to go through. The next thing you have is some nice chunky wooden resources. There are 4 kinds of resources in the game. And the 4 kinds of resources are gold, which are these yellow wooden discs. This one, I believe it is honor, or is it prestige? I always get confused with the name they gave that one. Honor, it is honor, which is a blue wooden star. Food, which looks like a leg of some kind of meat. And land, which looks like a green leaf. But in reality, what the names of these are not very important. It's just, what you need and what you have is what's really important for this. So now, when you're setting up the game, each player gets to have their own deck of starting heroes, which this is one of. Now, the starting heroes, I say deck, it's really a hand. You take all of them into your hand, all 9 heroes. The starting heroes have the plain white symbols for them, and they tell you that what they do. They can have abilities if they get an attack through. If they have a minus symbol flag, that's what they cost to use. The plus symbol is what they give you if they can make a successful attack. And they also tell you what they upgrade into.
What's the upgrade deck?
So the upgrade deck is upgraded versions of the heroes that during the game you will be able to upgrade some of your heroes into being. This is shuffled and placed near the play area. The royal palaces, there are 3 of them, are placed near the play area. And the upgrade deck, which is filled with buildings and magical items, as well as people who are one use to help you, is also placed near the play area. And that's kind of what you do to set up. We're about to show you that when we show you how to play. And the idea of this game is you need to be the first person to get 2 royal palaces out in your area. Royal palaces cost 4 honor and 1 land. Anyone can buy them. And on every turn, you take a turn where first you're going to possibly use resources to buy something. Then you can attack by choosing 3 cards and you put them face down. Your opponent defends by choosing 3 cards. You flip them up. If your opponent chose the same cards you attacked with, or their upgraded or non-upgraded versions, because as long as they have basically the same symbol. They block them and you don't get to use their ability. But if they did not block them, then what you get to do is, if they have a cost, you pay that cost, and then you get to do their ability and get the resources they would give you. You keep doing this until someone is able to buy 2 royal palaces. So without any further ado, we're going to head to the table. We're going to show you how that all works, and then we're going to come back. We're going to talk about how this game feels, and we're going to review it and rate it, and we're going to give away a copy of Greedy Kingdoms. Here you can see a game of Greedy Kingdoms set up. You've got all your resources out on the table, the royal palaces in a pile, a shuffle of the upgrade deck and 5 dealt out, and the hero upgrade or promotion deck. Each of us has our 9 cards, and now what we have to do is figure out who's going to go first. Lynn, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go second.
Okay, so as the first player, I either get a food or a gold, and Lynn will get one of each. I'm going to take the gold. So going first, the first thing I could do is I would be able to purchase something out here, or possibly spend 2 of any resources to upgrade one of my heroes. However, I cannot afford any of that, so I'm going to pass that. So instead, I'm just going to go on right to the attack phase. Now, during the attack phase, what I have to do is I have to pick some cards to send at Lynn, and she's going to try to anticipate what is going to be coming her way. So I'm going to take this, and let's go with this. Okay, so I've chosen 3 cards. You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, my first one I had was the Witch. Did you choose the Witch to block me? Oh, the Witch is going to get through. Then I have the Baron?
Yes.
Okay, so the Baron is blocked, and then I have the Thief.
Yes.
Okay, so the Baron and the Thief get blocked because Lynn chose them to block, but she misanticipated, and she had chosen the Painter. So the Witch gets through. And now the Witch gives me 1 gold and 1 meat for getting through. So I'm going to take 1 food and 1 gold there. And then, I'm sorry, I always refer to the food as meat, because that's what it looks like. Now I have another purchasing phase where I can buy something. So I'm going to take a quick look around trying to figure out what I want. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade one of my characters. So I'm going to spend 2 coin and I'm going to draw the first hero upgrade. Now, what happens is when I draw him, I see who is he an upgrade to. He's an upgrade to the king, and it is the emperor. So what I do is I find the king in my hand, and I lay him face up on the table to reveal to my opponent that I now have the upgraded version of the king. And their king, just like mine, shows what the upgraded version has. So that's it for my turn.
Okay. I am going to pay 1 food for the bishop.
The bishop. Now the bishop is a 1-use card. Any of these people over here are 1-use cards. The bishop allows you to pay 1 of anything. That's what those 4 in a square of all the resources are, to get a land. And then you discard him. Okay?
And then
you're going to attack me.
Yes.
So let's see. I'm going to do 2 and 3. Okay. I'm ready. What do you got coming at me?
I have the cook.
Got it. Blocked.
The thief.
Nope.
And the painter.
Blocked. I chose the Baron previously, so you get to steal my food. Here you go. So now that's what the thief does. The thief allows you to take 1 resource from your opponent.
And then I'm going to pay land to buy the warehouse.
Now the warehouse, what does that do for you?
When your opponent is the attacker, if they have more than 3 of any given resource at the end of their turn, they must give you all their excess resources.
That's really good. That's a great building. Now then on the beginning of my turn, I'm going to replace the cards that were missing from the 5 out there in the draw. And now I do not have any resources, so I cannot buy anything. So I'm going to go right into the attacking phase. And I'm going to choose 3 cards. I've chosen 3 cards. I'm good to go. You got your defense cards?
Yes.
Okay, I chose the cook.
No.
Yes. The cook gets through. The Baron?
Yes.
Oh, he gets blocked. And the Witch?
Yes.
Oh, but I got the cook through, which gets me 2 meat. I am then going to use the, it's really food. I always make that mistake. I'm going to use the 2 food to purchase the barracks. Now, what the barracks does is at the beginning of my turn, before replacing the cards in the draw here, I get to get 1 land. So this is a little bit of engine building. I will now get 1 land, which is the green resource, every turn. So, Lynn, it is your turn.
Okay. What does the market do? Start your turn as the attacker. You may pay 1 food. Well, pay 1 of anything to receive 1 of anything.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. I think I had that a couple games ago, actually. That's a good building.
I think I'm going to buy the market.
Oh, good choice. It's a good building.
And then I'm going to attack.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you got?
I have the Traveler,
Blocked.
the Baron,
No.
and the Cook.
Yes, blocked. So you got the Baron through. And the other, I chose the Painter as my last one. So the Baron gets through and gets you a couple resources there.
What I'm going to do is... What does the port do?
It's really
At the
good.
start of your turn, as the attacker, you receive 1 gold from the bank.
Yeah, it's a good one. The shield is a 1 use, lets you block someone who had gotten through, and the other guys just give you, trade for resources, basically.
I'm going to get the port.
Understandable. That's a good one. All right, so I'm going to get my resource from the barracks. So I get my land here, and then I'm going to replace the 2 cards out here. Nice. So we have the Shrine, which is when you are the attacker during the battle step, if all of your attacking heroes are blocked by the defender, you receive 3 honor. That is awesome, and I'm going to buy that right away. So then I'm going to select my attackers here. 1. 2, 3. Okay, so you ready? Thief?
No.
Yes, he gets through. Baron?
Yes.
Oh, and Painter.
Yes.
But I got the thief through, so I'm going to steal the gold coin from Lynn. And this is how the game goes. We go back and forth. We buy buildings, we buy items we can use, we pay for people that help us trade resources, until eventually, if we are able to gain 4 honor, which is the most valuable resource, and 1 land, on one of our purchasing steps, we could give that all to the bank to buy a royal palace, which is a building with no ability. But there are 3 royal palaces, and the first time that someone buys their 2nd royal palace, they win the game of Greedy Kingdoms. And that's really all there is to the game of Greedy Kingdoms. So now we're going to head back to the table. We're going to review it and rate it and talk about how this game feels. And then we're going to give a copy of Greedy Kingdoms away to one of you. Okay, welcome back. So that was how you play a game of Greedy Kingdoms. Now, this game, the light bluffing mechanic, it's not really... I mean, you can do a little bit of bluffing if you have lots of choices, but the main thing is you got to look at what resources your opponent has available, as well as what they need. Because like if you know your opponent's going for certain strategies, you can be like, oh, well, they've got gold and they can use a gold for this guy. They're probably going to use that guy because he's going to give them stuff they need, and you got to pick the right cards. And then also there's a little bit of engine building, because you can buy buildings that give you resources every round. You can also, there's buildings that let you play an extra card on the attack or defense, which then can, on the defense, can stymie your opponent, so it makes it really hard for them to get things through, and on the attack, it makes it really hard to be blocked. There's lots of cool buildings that do all sorts of different effects, plus one-use items that let you do all sorts of interesting things, and a lot of resource management. But I mean, when it comes down to it, it's fairly simple. You're really just trying to buy those palaces. You got to trade in the right resources and do the right resource management to get the palaces. I mean, what do you think about how this game feels?
Yeah, it's pretty much, it's not really, I guess it's sort of bluffing.
There's a little bit of bluffing.
A little bluffing and resource management.
Well, I find one of the ways, and resource management is one of the biggest things. But one of the ways I find that you can bluff is when you have the right resources to do something big with a big character and your opponent is expecting it, that you don't. You then use some of the free characters. So you can do a little bluffing that way sometimes. But it's the bluffing's very light in this. It's very light. There's very little bluffing. It only happens on occasion. It's really much more about engine building and resource management, even though the engine building is kind of light too, and you don't have to do it. But I think if you win, you probably did some engine building. You probably played cards where they said, like, when certain things happen, you get free resources and such. Even though the main action of the game is in the attacking, which doesn't really feel violent. It doesn't feel like attacking because you don't do any harm to your enemy. The closest thing to harm is the thief that steals some resources from your enemy, right?
I guess, but I also think that any bluffing is too much bluffing.
Well, you're not usually a big fan of the bluffing, but I really like this game. I think this is a fun, light, quick coffee house game. This is a small footprint game. It doesn't take up a whole lot of room, and I do enjoy it. And it's why I'm going to give Greedy Kingdom 7 out of 10 stars, because I really like it, and I would play it anytime someone wanted to. I like the resource management. It's like an entry-level resource management. I like that it's a specifically two-player game, because I like having lots of those in our collection that I can just play with you or with Alex when I only have two people looking to play a game. I do enjoy that. And I kind of like trying to figure out, okay, based on what my opponent needs and what they have, what cards are they going to play? I like doing that. I enjoy that. So I'm giving Greedy Kingdom 7 out of 10 stars. How many stars are you going to give it?
Probably a 6.
6. So you need to be in the mood to play it. So that's
a
not
low 6.
A 6.
6. On the lower end. More towards 5.9.
It's a 6. That's a 6. Okay, so you like it, but you need to be in the mood to play it. You're not like raving about it. But is that really just the bluffing that's holding it back for you, or what? Because I mean, any game with bluffing in it usually gets a lower score than it would otherwise, just because you're not a fan of bluffing.
It's that, and it also feels that, I don't know, it feels like once the first person has one of those palaces, it's like they're going to win, basically.
Not necessarily. I disagree, because there's certain cards that can allow you to stymie your opponent to then catch up. Like, there's that card where suddenly you can play 4 cards on the defense. If you get that...
Yeah, but it didn't help at all.
It did help. You caught up, but...
I still didn't win, so it didn't help.
Well, that's fair. So you give it a 6 out of 10. I give it a 7 out of 10. They're both positive scores, but Lynn is a little closer to the mediocre side on this than I am. I'm a little more positive. But we're going to give one of these away so that someone else gets a chance to voice their opinion on it and see how much they like it. We have a second copy of Greedy Kingdoms here, still in its wrapping. Along with, we're going to give a few extra things away with it. We're going to give away 2 of the Board Game Captain custom dice that say the Board Game Captain on YouTube on the ones face. And even though it does not go with this thematically at all, just because we have an extra one of these, an Overlook Hotel keyring. Now this is because we just passed the 1,000 subscriber mark while we were at Gen Con. It took us a little while to get around to doing this giveaway. I apologize for that, but that was because we had to get all the Gen Con videos out. Now, in order to enter the contest and win Greedy Kingdoms, 2 dice, and a Overlook Hotel keyring, if you're a fan of The Shining, you know what this is. It's actually a keyring to room 237, which is freaking awesome. If you would like to win all of this, you can enter from anywhere in the world. I will pay for shipping to get it to you. And here is how you enter. 1, you must be subscribed to the Board Game Captain. 2, like this video. Number 3 is the most important part. You have to go to my YouTube channel, and on the About tab, where it has the email address, you can click for business inquiries. Send me an email with the subject line that says Greedy Kingdoms giveaway, and in the body of the email, just write your YouTube sign-on name. Then, once you've sent the email, and you have to send it first, then comment on this video and say, if you were the king or queen of your own kingdom, what would be something ridiculous and frivolous that you would spend tax dollars on? Just something funny. You tell us. It could be anything you like. First send the email, then comment. And that is specifically to prevent a situation that happened during the last giveaway where somebody conned me out of one copy of the game I was giving away. So, be subscribed, like this video, send me the email, and comment on this video. And on the date that will be appearing on the screen right now, along with the time that is appearing on the screen in Central Time here in the United States, I will be drawing a winner, and I will send an email to whoever it is that I draw on the winner. And then after they have responded to me, I will then announce who the winner was on a separate video on the channel. So if you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns on Greedy Kingdoms or this video, feel free to put them in the comments down below. If you'd like to see us do more videos like this, be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Kaptain. That's Kaptain spelled with a K on YouTube. And until next time, game on.